Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel People and Geography. Again, I have selected one topic from population geography and the theory is demographic transition theory. This theory is very much common for all the examinations like UGC NET, WB SLST, NCERT and for graduation student. This theory I will explain in detail. So before starting our theory, I would request you to keep one pen and paper with you so that important things, notes, information, you can jot it down. Okay, so let's start. First, demographic transition theory. First, we have to understand the term demography and transition. So here I have written, you see, demography means statistical study of human population. Statistical study of human population, or that means all the informations, calculations regarding human population we will discuss in which discipline? That is demography. So what are the characteristics or traits of population? Growth, density, distribution. Like population growth, if you calculate population growth, if you calculate population density, population distribution, sex ratio, mm, everything, each and every formula regarding population actually belongs to which discipline? It is demography. Like geography is a discipline, history is a discipline. So that is why in the same way demography is also one discipline. And transition means actually change. That means evaluation, change, something is changing. So demographic transition means the changes in the pattern of population growth. Okay, so who has given the concept or theory of demographic transition theory? First, in the year 1929, one American demographer named Thomson, he introduced the theory first. After that, in the year 1950, Notenstein, and in the year 1947, Blacker, they have discussed or elaborated the theory. Okay, but who initiated the theory? Thomson. Who was Thomson? American demographer, given the theory in the year of 1929. Actually, he found many similarities in various nations. Okay, the pattern of growth, specifically in the time period between 1908 to 1927, he found many similarities of pattern of population growth in some developed or developing nations. After observing the pattern, he formulated the theory. So what is the significance of the theory? This theory will going to explain you how a society actually transform from rural society to industrial urban society. How the demographical pattern or changes are totally depend upon socioeconomic factors. So in that point of view, this theory plays a very significant role. I have written, you read, progress of society from rural and illiterate to urban industrial and literate society. So there are few assumptions or concepts behind this theory. What are those assumptions? The decline in mortality comes before the decline in fertility. Mortality means the death rate, and fertility means birth rate. That means first the death rate will decline, after that the birth rate will decline. Fertility rate declines slowly depending on the socio-economic environment. Socio-economic environment means that the condition of society in terms of health, education, literacy. So socio-economic environment. Socio-economic transition depends on demographic changes. That means demographic changes and socioeconomic conditions are related to each other. These two factors are related to each other. Which two factors? Socioeconomic environment and demographic changes. Okay, next. So there are total four stages. In some book you will find that there are five stages, and in some book you will find there are three stages. In NCERT type of book you will find there are three stages written, but later on the current version of books there are total five stages. But exam point of view you can write down, if you are writing descriptive type of answer, so there you can write four stages, there will be no issue. First, high fertility and mortality. Okay, first stage is very important, and you should remember this term high stationary, because sometimes in the UGC NET type of examination, actually there was a question that which stage of demographic transition is known as high stationary. High stationary means high fertility and mortality. So this is the base of that means this is the first stage of the theory, where the society belongs to agro based, like agriculture was the main occupation of the society. After that, what I have written, the death rate is very high. Why the death rate is very high? Because of poor diet, poor nutrition, low life expectancy, large family size. So this is the characteristics of the society. People's death rate are very high because of poor diet, poor nutrition, low, and definitely for low sanitation. Here one point I have mistakenly not written, that is low sanitation or poor sanitation. Okay, primitive agriculture. Agriculture, when I will teach you the types of agriculture, that time you will find different kinds of agriculture. So primitive agriculture is based on traditional ideas, and sometimes which is very unscientific in nature. So it is not at all for profit, it is for this daily life uses. Okay, primitive agriculture. And after the pre-industrial age, that means this stage belongs to pre-industrial age, where development has not been started yet. And mortality range, range you found here, that is 35 to 40 per 1000. That means it is very high. And birth rate is high, death rate is also high. That means the population increasing rate is low, because if both are actually high, then how the population will increase, right? So stage 1 completed. Now we are going to read about stage 2, high fertility but low mortality, and that is why this stage is rapidly expanding. Expanding means increasing. So what are the conditions that actually encourage to expand the population? That is improvement in food supply, sanitation, and water supply. These are the conditions. That is why the fertility rate to high, but the mortality rate is low. Mortality rate decline from 35 to 40 to 15 per 1000. Okay, and this stage has been found in northwestern Europe during 19th century, after the industrial revolution. After industrial revolution, the society has been changed, and as a result, that particular population zone, they experienced this stage in their societal development. Education has not reached sufficient level. That means population, you see here the fertility is high, so we know that there is relationship between fertility and education. If education, literacy rate education is very satisfying nature, that means the fertility rate must be slowing down. But here the education has not reached sufficient level, that is why fertility rate is very high. So this is not a good attribute of a society. increasing survival of children. That means in the previous stage, here the survival rate of children is very poor. That is why the high fertility and high mortality. Mortality, that means the infant age group, they actually very like vulnerable. But in this stage 2, their increasing survival level, basically for the children, it increases. That means the society is growing to that means the growing to keep the children who will be a better citizen of future. Okay. Next, stage 3, low death rate, diminishing death rate, and the stage name is late expanding. So here I have written low death rate, diminish birth rate. That means birth rate and death rate both are very low. Okay, from this stage actually the development starts. See, all the points are positive. Improved economic condition, women's status and education, spread of healthcare and facilities and awareness, nuclear family system. Nuclear family system is only possible when women are educated, they are working in nature, they are that means delivering less children. That is why this family system develops. Economic growth due to increase in the ratio of working age to dependent population. As I have already told you, the stage 2, the children mortality rate decreases. That is why they become the a successful or powerful citizen of any country, and that is why the economic growth rate increase due to the ratio of working age group. They become the working age group or independent population, so they are contributing for the society, and they are contributing for the society. That means the economy is growing. So all the points are very much positive. That means actually development starts from the stage 3, actual development. Now stage 4, decline in birth and death rate. This stage is somehow experience a negative growth rate. Okay, so this stage is also very important, and name is low stationary. Please write it down in your copy, whatever you have taken. Population is stable or growing very slowly. Improve living standard, more work participation by women. So it is very common. Birth rate drops significantly in many developed countries like Japan, Italy, and Germany. So that is what I was telling you, that birth rate and death rate both are low, but in some developed countries like Japan, Italy, and Germany, the death rate is higher than birth rate. That means birth rate is very, very low. That is why they are experiencing negative growth of population. Okay, so there are total 4 stages which I have already discussed. Now this is the diagram. In this diagram you have to practice, because without diagram in geography it is incomplete, and you have to understand the diagram. And sometimes in UGC NET or WB set type of examination, the diagram from the question can be made from the diagram itself. Okay, so here 3 curve we can see. Green color curve, it is showing date rate. Violet color curve, it is showing birth rate, and population growth in red color. 4 stage, it has been written. First stage high stationary, second stage early expanding, which already we have discussed. Third stage later expanding, fourth stage low stationary. 4 stages are there, we have found already. So first stage high stationary. See the curve, birth rate, death rate. Two curve almost standing in a similar base. That means both are high. Second stage you found death rate decline, but birth rate still increased. Okay. Third stage death rate decline, birth rate also decline. Fourth stage birth rate and death rate almost similar. So this is the diagram. No need to draw in detail, just you mention 4 stages, draw 3 lines, write down time, put one heading, bus. And this you can put for your understanding and for better representation of your answer. See, each theory, it has some criticism. It is very common, but the theory is important in some aspects. See, we have to read the criticism also. Main three criticism I have written down here. The demographic stages have not been uniform. It has not been supported by empirical evidence that birth rate declines initially in urban areas, because it has been found in many research that the few developed nations, in spite of having rural characteristics, but the birth rate still declined. So it is not necessary that first the society has to be transformed into urban society, then the birth rate will decline. Okay, so this is not this is not uniform for all the nations or all the countries or continent. Okay, it is very important. Influence of migration has not been given proper weightage. What is the influence of migration? That means migration also plays significant role for adding or subtracting the that means number in a particular country, where it is immigration or where it is immigration. But in this theory, this particular term has not been uttered for a single time. So this is one great criticism of this theory. Okay, so I think I tried to explain the theory very easily. Still, if you face any difficulty to understand, please write down in the comment section. Comment section is always open for you. Okay. So after that, we will discuss again with your that is mistakes and understanding. Keep watching my channel. Thank you.